All right, so we got the Glock 17 Gen 6. So Glock just dropped this not too long ago. And I know you guys are wondering, is this worth upgrading? If you got a Gen 5, maybe a Gen 4, even a Gen 3. All right, safety check, no ammo. So here it is, the G17 Gen 6. Is it worth the upgrade? So I got a chance to run this, put some rounds through it. There you go. So we got the Gen 6 Glock 17. All right. And gonna let you guys know what my overall opinion is. Full disclosure, I'm not a Glock guy. I used to be. I had a Gen 3, had a Gen 4 and a Gen 5. I got rid of all my Glocks and I am currently an MMP guy. I wanted to check out this Gen 6 and see if it was worth, going back to a Glock or even if it's worth upgrading to a Glock. Now, I just want to give a shout out to my boy Bernard at Burnout Adventures. He lent us his G17 Gen 6. Thanks for lending it on to the channel so we could, check it out, do a little review, run it, see how we like it. And I'm gonna give you guys my honest opinion on it, all right? So, like I said, I used to run Glocks. My first ever gun was a Glock 17 Gen 3. So, I do have some experience with Glocks. For me, it was always about the grip angle and the blockiness that never really, it never really found a home, When I ran Glocks, it was purely on reliability, right? Track record. So, picked it up, ran flawless, never had any issues with it, but it never found a home when it came to grip, comfortability. It was never really, there was just better out there, you know what I mean? For example, like Smith & Wesson MMP, you can pretty much customize your grip to make it feel good in your hand, and they've built a solid reputation of reliability as well. I've never had any issues, any malfunctions on my MMP, so for me that was just the better choice. But I do like Glocks, I do like Glocks. I mean, Glocks Pioneer, striker fired, polymer, and these things are reliable. I mean, it is what it is. They are solid. But I don't know, I feel like Glock is like your iPhone, it's like every year you get a new series, but they don't really give you much, you know what I mean? Change from Gen 3 to 4 to 5, it's like, it's still a Glock, like this is still your Glock, like nothing much has changed. But they did change a few things here. And what I like here, so first off, here, your regular Glock slide. I don't really see any much different here on the slide. You got front serrations, rear serrations, right? Your typical Glock sights, which most people don't like anyway. They usually swap them out. My boy's running an SRO on his, so he doesn't really need the sight, so cool. Now they give you a little ledge here, a little thumb rest. To me, that's pretty much useless. It's not really doing anything. Some nice grip texturing here, and the beaver tail. So now instead of having back straps with, a little beaver tail, the beaver tail is built into the frame, which is nice. I actually like. So somehow when I put this one in my hand, it actually feels a little bit better. It feels pretty decent, feels decent. I'm not gonna lie, it feels decent. Doesn't feel as great as like my MMP feels. When I put my MMP in my hand, it just feels like it fit, right? It's like, yeah, this is nice. By the way, everything has been safety check, no ammo anywhere. But it does feel good in the hand, you know. I got a chance to run it and it ran pretty good, ran flawlessly. The added beaver tail is a nice touch. I really like that. And it doesn't feel as blocky, but it's still, you know, you can tell you're holding a Glock. Trigger, a different trigger than the Gen 5s and the Gen 4s. It's kind of almost like a flat face-ish, if you will. I don't know why Glock doesn't just put one of their performance triggers in their Glocks and send it that way, right? Like when I got this MMP, even the stock trigger was nice, right? I just like the Apex triggers. I just, you know, I run these in competition, so the shorter reset, the shorter the travel, and you know, I like a much lighter pull, so I swap them out. However, though, the stock trigger was doable. You know, it felt decent, it felt good. So I'm not understanding. Well, I think I do understand, you know, like they have to make money because they do have decent triggers, but you gotta pay for it if you want it, you know? This trigger, man, it is so mushy and heavy. Like I know this is geared towards duty, but man, like this trigger, if I got this, I would have to, this is the first thing that I would change, the trigger. 100%, this trigger has to go. I don't know who's making triggers for these yet, but you know, whether it be Apex, Overwatch, Timney, whoever, yeah, this is not it at all, you know. Now, the next thing I don't like about this mag release, it is just not functional. It, you know, feels like I mean, dude, this is just like, this is very positive, very functional, very positive, very functional. Although this is an extended mag release, but still, this comes stock. This thing just, it almost feels like you gotta exert like 10 pounds of pressure just to drop your mag. So I would definitely change this mag release, put something better, maybe an extended trigger has to go. Other than that, I don't have any other complaints, to be honest. This is pretty decent, feels good. I ran it, it tracked pretty well. It ran pretty flat actually. It wasn't snappy. It was very manageable, and so, you know, as a MMP guy, I think this is a pretty decent intro into Glock if you're looking for one, you know. Yeah, so you know, recoil impulse was pretty flat. Transition felt pretty good. Trigger, not really happy with this trigger at all. I would 100%, especially if you're gonna pick one of these up to run in like a USPSA match, IDPA, or you know, still challenge or whatever. This trigger has to go. Like honestly, you know, this trigger is just maybe for duty carry. This may be doable for duty, but for any type of competition, it has to be changed. You know what I mean? Look at that. This is like night and day difference. You know, granted, this is you know, upgraded competition trigger, but you know, we're talking about night and day difference. With your Apex, night and day. So Glock, if you're listening, please put one of your performance triggers in here. This is just unacceptable, right? This is unacceptable. You guys are going in the right direction, but do something with the triggers, man. You know, give people an option. You know, duty trigger or you know, competition trigger that people can actually choose. You know what I mean? Instead of having to, you know, go and spend the extra money Like I said, this is a Performance Center M&P. It came with a very good trigger. I really didn't have to change this. This was actually really good. But I just wanted a little bit more, and that's the only reason why I swapped this out. Same with this one. This one came with an excellent trigger. I just, we want more all the time. And so I decided to swap it out, but I really didn't have to. These triggers came pretty good right out of the box. I actually ran both and matches with stock trigger, and I had no issues. They ran pretty good. But like I said, wanted a little bit more, and so I got a little bit more. But I'm not gonna bash Glock because they are solid, they are reputable. But is it worth the upgrade? I probably wouldn't upgrade if I had a Gen 5, 4, or even a 3, right? The Gen 3s were actually pretty solid. I really like the Gen 3s. But if I didn't have a Glock, if I wanted to pick one up, I would pick this one up, right? I would either pick a Gen 3 or this one. This one, I do like the grip texture. I really like the beaver tail. The gas pedal type thing they got going on here is not really doing anything, I mean, it's there, it is what it is. Get an A for effort, but it's not really helping, to be honest, for what it is or what it wants to be. But it is what it is. We see Glock is, they're kind of going in the right direction. So yeah, I mean, it's still a solid pistol. Still a solid pistol. I mean, coming from an M&P guy, I wouldn't mind running this. If I did get one, I would 100% put a competition trigger in here. I would change this mag release, and yeah, I mean, recoil spring, I wouldn't touch it. You know what I mean? It feels pretty good, returns to zero pretty quick, and yeah, it's pretty nice, man. Not bad. Not bad at all. Now, would I pick one over an M&P? I don't know. I don't think so. I've been really enjoying these M&Ps. The fit's really good in the hand. These things run flawless.